All right, starting with the usual. Starting with the usual start. I wonder if anyone actually uses AI assist on teaching games like against me, because sometimes like some moves are pretty amazing and then they just like quit halfway through the sequence, which is kind of strange. Okay, that's definitely not using AI assist. I think he probably misclicked that one. Oh.
Pass.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna...
Undo requested.
I'm
Undo granted. Undo requested.
I'm going to just let him undo this. I'm going to let him undo this because...
You have won.
Dang it. Alright, now I need to find another game, because that was obviously, like... That was obviously not good. So if any of you want to... If anyone around the 8 to 12K category actually want to play me, accept my challenge, because I am actually looking for a game. I'm definitely going to be looking for another game there. So if you're interested in playing me for a teaching game and stuff, like, accept the challenge, please, because I am looking for another game. Yes, if I can't get a game soon, I'm probably just going to... If I can't get a game soon, I am most likely just going to start playing against Katago Micro. But I definitely am looking for another game. Waiting for something, definitely waiting for something else to come. Definitely waiting for someone else to come, because that last game like ended like way too fast. Because he obviously misclicked, and I tried to like, we're probably trying to undo a couple of moves. We definitely tried to undo a couple of moves there.
Game started.
All right, there we go. We got a game. We got a game. 11K. I'm gonna start on this corner. The thing is, like, if people are actually using the AI in part to actually beat me, that's fine. That's actually perfectly fine. I don't have anything against that, but the thing is, like, you're not actually learning all that much if you're doing that. I mean, it's an unranked game, so it doesn't really matter all that much, but of course, like, if you... Ooh, it's not the move I expected, but it's fine. Of course, if you're using the AI, if you're using the AI, I'm not going to be able to win, because I obviously can't beat the AI. That's just a weird move. I can't let him get the Hane, so I am actually going to extend up. That I'm not going to extend anymore. I'm just going to take the 3. I've never seen this kind of movement before. All right, I'm going to ignore that. This kind of move, this kind of shape isn't that great. I'm going to go down here. There is actually a pretty big strength difference between 8 and 12K, by the way, in case you're wondering. That is not a good forcing move. What you want to do, if you want to do anything, you want to invade over here. This is just a bigger move right here. This does actually allow me to pincer though, and I'm going to go ahead and pincer here. Realistic. Ooh, that's not a good move. There's nowhere for you to expand over here, and you just make me stronger here, so that's why that's not a good move. I think I'm just going to follow up by jumping over here. It might be better for me just to take this corner here, though. Like, this is the kind of invasion you do when you have like no other invasion spots. It's really not the kind of invasion you do. It's really not the kind of invasion you do like right now. And this is completely pointless. This is essentially completely pointless right now for him. I don't think that's a good move by me either, but I do have to like... No, do I even have to do that? No, I really don't. Because if he Ataris this way, I can just go that way. It's not a big thing for me. I think I'm going to actually attack him here. Yeah, this is weird, man. This is really, really weird. That wasn't actually a move. That wasn't actually a good move by me. I just wanted to do that and then just like come out here. Maybe separate the groups. But this is actually making it really, really easy for me to attack. Because you still have this, like by doing this, you didn't really do much. By doing that, you didn't really do all that much. Okay, that's just not good. Gonna attack. Can I do this? Why not? I'll give it a shot. Probably not the best move in the world, though. Yeah, definitely not the best move in the world. You did kind of just trap yourself in. And, no, I don't want to do that because he can actually do this. I don't want to squeeze all the liberties here. So I think I'm just going to do this for right now. Just take the bottom. I can come out this way, but he does have that move. And I don't want to squeeze all the liberties because then he has that cut. That's not a good move. I think you would. I think you have to Hane this. I'm pretty sure you have to Hane this if you actually want to fight. Because now I'm just going to jump, and there's really not much you can do. I'm just going to do this. He can't really do much down here.
You have won.
Okay, there's actually a lot of mistakes. There's actually a lot of mistakes actually being made here. I think I'm just going to play like Katago Micro now, but obviously there's like a lot of... I think I'm going to go ahead and play another teaching game because this one didn't last long enough. Or I'll just burn a couple of games against Katago Micro. If anyone watching that's in this rank range wants to play me, let me know. I'm very open to setting up another game because this one actually didn't last long enough. So this is kind of a weird set. It's not like massively horrible here because it does secure the corner, but it does leave two approaches. So this is going to be much better. This or this is going to be way better than basically this. Doing this. The optimal move is to invade the 3-3 there, but doing this or doing this is perfectly fine too. Or like doing this. So I would do one of those. Like if it were me, I would do this, this, or this. Doing that loses you a point or two. I invade here. This is going to be the best optimal choice right now. This is easily going to be the best optimal choice right now. You could also try to pincer me, and that would force me to probably play over here or something. But
Challenge received.
you could actually do that. I don't know how this challenge thing works. Okay, there's I guess I'll play it
Game
unranked.
started.
I guess I'll play 9 times 9 against 4Q. That's perfectly fine. There's a much bigger chance that I'm going to lose though. What could you say between the rating differences between online Go sites and the official rating? It depends on which online server you're actually on. Wait, is this like 1 minute per move? Or... Oh, this is a weird time set for me. This game's going to be significantly harder. I might actually lose this game. I'm not actually used to this, but we'll see. I'm going to take the bottom pincer. I don't actually mind... Okay, he takes the... That's fine. I'm going to go down. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I think I'm like used to 1030, but this is fine as well. I don't have anything against this. Usually the move is like made here because letting me hane this is not great. Yeah, letting me hane that is definitely less than great. It does break your overall shape. Yeah, so generally, if you do this and I do this, you do come out on top. You don't really let me hane this. Me coming out here is not as me coming out there is not nearly as bad. That's okay, but I mean, like the thing is, like, the point of this particular Joseki, the actual point of this particular Joseki is to build the top shape, and letting me do something like letting me actually play this is just not like I don't know. I don't think it's advantageous for black. Yeah, that's not really advantageous for black. You can't really threaten my group down there. I mean, you could try, but it's not really going to be all that successful for you to threaten my group down there at this point. Yeah, I'm not going to let you use the cover on top. There's a lot I can actually do here. Let me try this variation. I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, that makes it a little bit smaller since I invade the 3-3 and he can't actually threaten me on this. There's just not as much there's actually just not as much territory over here. Huh. See, I want to see the answer to this move. Actually, that probably wasn't a good move. I think he should have blocked this way. Oh, I don't think that was a good decision for him. I think double Hane would have been better, but we'll see. I'm going to fly. I'm going to take the knight's move. If I do this, he can double Hane. There's actually a couple of variations. There are a couple of variations that he can actually do here. I think I'm just going to ignore that and play over here. I personally don't think there's that much territory on the bottom. And having my head stick out here, like this, stuff like this is going to be somewhat problematic for him. Obviously, I'm going to do that. Because, like, this isn't all that big here. And take this as well. That's the right one. Going to... Nah, not yet. Just jump. Okay. Give him the corner. I can trade the corner for the side, which is going to be okay. Okay. I would have actually just traded the corner for the side if I was him. Yeah, see, this doesn't actually work. That doesn't actually work because you only have one eye. Playing Katago multiple times, multiple times really helps you with these Josekis. That is one thing that I've actually learned from playing Kata multiple times. That's actually not bad, but I'm actually going to pincer this way. The Liberties thing does not concern me at all right now. I'd rather just get like this territory here. That's kind of interesting. I know exactly what Katago would do right now, and if I was playing Katago, I would prevent that. But since Kata plays perfectly and humans don't, I'm not as afraid against like a human opponent. Even if it was like a high Dan player, I would play differently against Katago than I would against those kind of players. Because Kata would just make like 20 forcing moves, and then he'd end up with like 30 points in the middle somehow. Whereas human players aren't going to make 20 forcing moves and end up with like 30 points in the middle. Because, you know, AIs are evil like that. That's fine. All right, this side. Just to protect some things. There's not much else over there. Not really sure why you do that. That one I'm kind of confused on, actually. Okay, that... I mean, I could extend down. I'm actually really confused on this. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That basically helps me. I mean, you did get some stuff here, but that essentially just helps me. There are a couple of really big moves here right now that I really want to make. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I think this is a good one. It breaks the thing. I have to break the territory in here first. I do actually have to watch out later, though, here. Oh, that's a pretty good move. That's bigger than the outer. That's definitely bigger than the outer one. I might have actually tried to kill this group if I was him. I don't think I would have been able to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that's alive. Because like if I'm thinking if I'm black, if I'm thinking that like my thinking is that if I'm black, right now, I'm actually behind. So that's a pretty good move. Because if I don't answer, that's actually Ko. So I'm definitely going to answer. My thinking would be like if I'm black right now, I'm behind at this point. So I would take the, well, how much do I actually answer that? Let's just do this first. This actually might, ooh. That's actually a really interesting question. You know why? Because I can trade this group for this group. That's a really, really interesting proposal. Is this group bigger than this group? These are the things you kind of have, these are the kind of things you have to think about. Like if he kills that and I kill this, nah, screw it. I'm just gonna do this. But like during a game, those are things that you actually have to think about. Like you got to think about these things like trading. Like if he kills this, if he actually kills this group and I get this, which one is bigger? I think it's actually pretty close. I do actually think it's pretty close on which one's actually bigger. I'm actually just going to take this. Going to make sure there's no Aji there. There's not that much territory in the center. There honestly isn't. I don't think he had to do that right away, though. Eventually, would he have to do that? Yes. But not right now. That move I think, is fairly big. Yeah, that's pretty big. Letting me do that. Because that's like a lot of points down there. He did actually get a lot of the closing moves. Like this was really big. This was pretty big. This was pretty big. So he did actually get a lot of the closing moves. That I don't think works anymore here. Obviously. It's not too bad. Oh, that's not good. You can't do that. Giving this is like 15 points. At least 15.
You have won.
All right, let's actually review this game. This game was
Challenge
like,
received.
I don't think I have a time to play another one. Unfortunately, I don't have time to play another one, so I'm going to go ahead and receive. I'm going to actually have to go ahead and just review this one. So like even before this, I was ahead by 13 or so, and that's because he did actually play the closing game pretty decently. This was pretty big in the later on, but like I think if you played this, I'd be ahead by about 10. But I would actually end up doing this. I think this here, you would almost have to do this. But because like, I don't know how many points are actually in the middle, but you're actually losing like 15 points or so here. So obviously, yeah, this is by far the best move on this. And then I would definitely fly out here more or less and break this territory. I should be ahead by about like 10, 11, 12 points here. Pretty solidly. So this game actually was pretty interesting. This game was actually a pretty interesting game. I like this. I was actually kind of expecting either to do this sequence or to actually just if he played here, I probably would have just if he played like this, I probably would have just gone this way and done this instead. This is perfectly fine for me. I want the Moyo, I would give up the corner. So that's probably what I would have done. But this is the best move. It's not too much different if I do this. It's just a little bit safer. And with this move, like there isn't like this move later on, or like this move later on if you go downwards. So that's why sometimes I choose a lower move. Kata says to do this. I don't really like this shape. This is going to be the move that most people do, and the Joseki here is fairly straightforward. Of course, I'm going to do this. So the Joseki here is actually pretty straightforward. You can connect one of these if you want to, but if I do this, you always have like the corner tap here. So this is a pretty straightforward Joseki. I think black probably gets Sente here, and he'll probably do something like this. So that's actually pretty even. Doing this definitely loses you points, because the whole point of this was the whole point of this Joseki is actually to improve the top shape here. So he does this. I'm going to come up. He has to do this. Obviously, I'm going to go do this. This is the best move because it secures the corner. He eventually does that, but he gives me a couple more on top, obviously. This is the only move for me to make. And obviously, you have this move as well, and I would come up here. Because basically, at this point, your top shape isn't really that good, so I guess you would actually just try to get more bottom territory. Of course, like he plays here. I'm just going to come up. That destroys his top shape. And then he does this. I'm going to invade. So yes, like the corner invasion is the best out of all the moves, but I think I play this more just because I'm more used to it. So I'm going to invade here. He's going to do this. The tuck under generally is the best move, by the way. It's like this actually loses half a point, but I actually just like this shape more. So that's why I do that all the time. I'm going to come up here because I don't want him to build up a big Moyo by doing something like this. I don't want him to get all the thickness out here. So I do jump out. I do follow him and jump out, even though like the best move is this corner move. He's going to do that. I'm going to Rihane, and then of course that is the best move, but I guess like if he does this, there's always this. So it doesn't really favor him, I guess. So yeah, I did lose 1.5 points by doing this, but I did take the tiger's mouth. Oops, sorry. I did take the tiger's mouth. See, like he's already lost about 7 points by trading this over here. I kick. I basically did this because I wanted the Sente, right? Like usually if I didn't really want this move, if he does this, I would definitely do this. But because I actually wanted the Sente here, that's why I kicked. because I wanted the Sente so I could actually do this. This kind of stabilizes this group. He does that. That's actually like, you know, like I was actually thinking like, what would I do if he actually did that, you know? Because this is kind of like peculiar. Like I could trade this way, but that might not even work, you know? That honestly might not even work like that. So that doesn't actually work for me all that well. I could try to do this, but you know, like that actually puts this group in danger. So I'm not going to do that. So I was wondering like if he actually blocks downward, what would I actually do? Would I just do this? I think I would almost have to do this. I would definitely have to do this way, and I wouldn't be able to invade his corner. So that's actually like, I was hoping he wouldn't do this. I was actually hoping he would connect. I was definitely hoping he would connect. The correct move is here, because it threatens connecting this stone, but I didn't see that move. The thing is, like, if you actually play against the Katago Micro a lot, you will actually see this move. This is a very, very hard move to counter. It's a very, very hard move to counter. Do this, he hanes, I do this. This is the correct move. It forces me to go this way. But he extends. I was thinking of doing this, but I didn't actually expect the correct move to be out here. But that is, now that I look at it, that is definitely the correct move. I don't really know why Kata says play over here, actually. I mean, this is alive. This should be alive in the corner. Yeah, this definitely should be alive in the corner. There's no way you can kill this in the corner. So that's actually the right move because it actually builds, you can actually build territory here. I got to remember that next time I play because I would have actually, double haunted. I definitely would have double haunted. It's a better move than extending downward. And I didn't want to do this because there's this, but I guess it doesn't really matter right now. So I actually took the one move downward. That's actually a pretty good forcing move since I haven't done that. I don't actually have two eyes here if he actually does that. So that's actually a pretty good move. That's generally not a good move because if you build strong over here, there's other options besides doing this. So this is not a great move. That connection wasn't a good. I was actually thinking about just jumping out as well. And that's what I should have done. Either jumped out or take the knight's move out. That's much better than the corner move. So he does this, I connect, he does this. And then I'm basically going to ignore him here and do that. That secures the corner, and that makes this move much less threatening. That's why I did that. Because I was aware that this group wasn't so strong unless I did that. He comes up. I guess I should have attached. Like, the computer always makes a lot of attachment moves. But I'm more used to, I'm definitely more used to doing moves like this. Just to flatten his Moyo a bit. And then he does that, I do that, I do that. Yeah, at this time you should do this, because there's not actually too much value here. My push doesn't actually work, so you should actually just go somewhere else. That's why the computer is telling you to go elsewhere, because my push doesn't actually work. He does that. I should go somewhere else too. I'm going to do that to prevent this cut up here as well, and to reduce his Moyo. So invading here, right now, it's basically trading corner for side, and I think the corner is bigger. So I Hane this. I mean, obviously, as you can see the variation here, as you can actually see the variation here, what the AI is telling him to do is trade the corner for the side, which is exactly what you should do. So it should look like this in the end. I get your side, you get my corner. The corner is going to be a little bigger. So that's what you should actually do. You cannot actually do this because then you're kind of dead. Here, I think you might still be alive because you still have this cut, which is really, really bad for me. So after doing this, you definitely need to do this. And as you can see, black is alive here, but you're crawling on the bottom and you leave a lot of problems in this territory here. So it's still trading corner. It's still definitely trading corner for side, more or less. So I'm going to connect. Actually, like at this point, I should just do this and secure my corner, because if you do this, yes, you do get the sente, but I do get the corner here. So I'm going to connect. He's going to do this, and now this is just basically dead. So like essentially, this is a Josek. This trade is corner for side, because even if you do this and I do this, and you tend to live here, I can still kind of like break your side territory here. So that's basically like that's why like in this particular situation, the corner invasion really isn't that big, because you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of your side. If you're black and you just do this, this is automatic sente. You get this side, I get the corner, but then it's your move now. So yeah, the invasion move isn't bad, but you can't want both the corner and the side. You absolutely have to fly here, because if you do this, then you're dead, like we just saw. A lot of people would wrongly play this move, and that would actually give him the ko. But if you just do this, and remember, like all you have to do to kill him is make sure he doesn't have two eyes. You don't have to Atari. So obviously, this is dead here, and he lost maybe he lost maybe like probably like 6-7 points on that exchange, at least. He made my corner a little bit bigger, and that is not really going to do anything, because that doesn't really threaten me. I'm going to play here to get more territory. That, like I was thinking about going here and just getting this territory down here, but I didn't want him to get the entire thing here. So I do this, then I'm going to Hane, then do that. So this is the biggest move. I was thinking about like, is it bigger to come out here, bigger to go under, bigger to do this, or bigger to Hane out here? Obviously, this is the biggest move. I didn't know which one was the biggest, so I just basically Hane out here. He does actually choose a pretty good move on that. I should have countered with this, but I don't think I'm not strong enough to go with the variations on that. But I basically just did this. You lose a lot of points by doing this. Oh yeah, I should have just done that and killed the entire thing, by the ways. I definitely should have been able to see this. I didn't see that though, but I think like you should just kind of like do this. Actually, if you did this, I would just do this. And if you did this, it's just like, yeah, it's your sente and you get a couple of points, but I'm just going to connect down here. So that's how I would actually play it. This was obviously a wrong move. Do that. I could have just extended downward as well. Like there's many ways for me to play that. I just took the easy move and I just took the easy move and took this. If he would have gone down under, I would have just done this, and he's dead. So he can't do that. So he takes back, and I should have done this because this group's not really in trouble. If he connects this, I'm just going to connect over here. So I should have done this. This is actually much bigger. I just realized how much of a mistake I made there. I'm going to do this, and he's going to do this. I'm going to go up top. He does this. I connect. He does that. And yeah, this is still like, I was thinking about doing this, and obviously I should have done that, but I didn't want him to get all this territory. But now that I look at it, like what he got, the exchange in territory here is so much greater than here if I actually counted it. So like in a tournament game, if you're deciding, if you're deciding again between this move and this move, you have to think like, if I do this and he just does something like, this in the end, how much does that cost him versus like, how much is he going to get down here? Because you have to live essentially. And then, you doing this, like he gets a couple points here. He reduces your territory here. So this is going to be worth like 10, 15 points. This might be only 6 or 7. So that's why that move is bigger. So this is a wrong move by me. He does that. I go down. This is not the right move. This is going to be bigger than this side. There's not that much territory in here. There's a couple points, but this is just a bigger move. So he does that. I do this. He does that. I'm going to have to do that. He does that. I guess this is better, but this is not all that relevant at this point. He does that. I'm going to go first. And then he does that, and of course, yeah. See, like, so I like during the game, this is what I was actually discussing. I'm like, should I just come down here and let him kill this, and then take this, or do I actually do this and let live and let him go down here? So the correct answer, obviously, by a long shot, was coming. The correct answer by a long shot was coming down here, because this is actually bigger than this. So that was the correct answer by a long shot. I just didn't count it right, because if you count it, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Maybe this is like, I would say this is maybe like 25, 30 points, right? But if you take this, this is like 8 points, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This is already 23 points. Plus you destroy like 10, 15 points of his. So that objectively makes this bigger than this. So that's my mistake right there. I should have traded. That's fine. That doesn't need answering right now. That really doesn't need answering right now. You do want to answer this later, but it doesn't actually need answering right now. Yeah, so I'm actually going to, yeah, he should have done this first, actually. He should have actually done this first. Then I couldn't connect this. So like this is a forcing move that forces me to answer. And then now that I've actually answered here, you can actually go do this and prevent me from connecting. So that's how that's played. Connecting here allows me to go over. That's quite big. Now this is not all that useful. By the way, if he did this, I would, I actually wouldn't have played that. I would have actually just done this. So he doesn't get the Sente block. So he does this, he does that. I'm going to come over here, and he should have blocked out this, because this makes this territory very, very possible. He does block that. I do this. You have to do this. You absolutely have to do this, because like that obviously is going to destroy all your territory. This obviously doesn't work because there's that. Yeah, this obviously doesn't work. So he makes the mistake there, not reading right. I do this. So here's the thing. Here's another place you have to calculate which is worth more points. If you connect this, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This may be like 10, maybe this is like 10 points, maybe 11 points. But if you let me take this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is like almost 20 points. So the correct move here is definitely to do this and then come over. That is the correct move, because you're only losing 5, 6 points here maybe, whereas you're losing 20 on the bottom. So that's like that's why it's a negative 13 point mistake, because like losing 6 points versus losing 30. So like this game is a good lesson about trades. Like sacrificing this group to take out this down here is definitely was what I should have done, and then like sacrificing these couple of stones here letting me break a little bit of the middle territory is his big mistake. Plus like this corner Joseki is his mistake as well, because this should have been like trading corner for side. So those were his 3 really big mistakes this game. I also made one here, but this mistake and this mistake, taking like the worser trade, actually like cost him about 25 points. I was ahead by a little bit anyways, but that's what actually cost him about 25 points. I could have jumped up another 14 points or so if I had taken this trade, but I did not calculate this outright, because this was only 25 points or so. This is like 35, 40 points. So that is actually a really, really good lesson on what's worth more, how you count, and when you put your decision to the test, like which move to actually make to optimize your point total. So hopefully you learned something from this stream. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will be back with another stream next time. And if you guys want to, if some of you guys on the stream want to play me in like this rank range, I'll be glad to play some of you if I have time. I usually only play like 1 game per day and review, because it takes a lot of time, but I'm always glad to play subscribers and watchers. So I'll